so close. Gaia Sabatini is on the chart.
Gaia Carles is desperately digging deep.
Wow, bang, that's quite a heavy fall. And I'm not sure she's going to make it. Here they come.
Guillemot is finishing like a train. The French woman looked relieved to see the home straight there. She's not a natural cross-country runner, but she's a brilliant 1500-metre runner. With this head-on angle, it's hard to tell, but Vissa, Thorner, Guillemot, I think they were going to hand over pretty much all together. And the French team were victors last year, but they were chasing. If you remember, the Dutch team and the French team were chasing down the Brits that at this point had nearly a minute lead. Vissa sprinting flat out here. I think the Italian team are going to have the advantage slightly. She hands to the national record holder, Pietro Arisi. The French team with a good handover. And Tyler Billiard of Great Britain and Northern Ireland in third has got to try and live with these first two teams. They are miles ahead of the other teams. The Dutch team, Stefan Nielsen, takes over for them in fourth place, and the Adrian Ben of Spain takes over in fifth.
Well, it could hardly be tighter, could it? Look at those times, just 2 seconds back to Great Britain in third place, and then a slightly bigger gap back to the Netherlands in fourth, as Bedard of France pushes on this final leg. This is going to be very, very tight indeed. You've got to get it right. Every foot is going to matter on these bends and these twists and turns. Simon Bedard's a 3:38 1500-metre runner, and looking confident and strong at the moment in front.
Pietro Arisi was part of the squad in Turin that took the gold medal, with him and Gaia Sabatini anchoring them. It was a really technical course there, so Arisi, I'm confident in his cross-country ability. And Tyler Billiard, the University of Birmingham, knows his way around the cross-country course as well. He's just a 3:39 guy, but he's one of those younger athletes that's developing. So you feel like that 3:39, that's not his maximum potential. And good bravery here from him on his international debut for Great Britain to go ahead of Bedard and Arisi. But I feel like the experience of the Italian and the Frenchman are going to come into play here.
Well, Billiard is strong, we know that. That 3:54 miling speed will come in very handy. 1:47 for 800 metres, was second in the trials short course race in Liverpool 2 weeks ago. Jethro McGraw, I know, will be screaming him on here to make the right tactical moves, if tactics are to be employed in this. And I suppose with this being the final leg, Hannah, it doesn't matter whether you're 1 millimetre in front of your opponent at the finish line, as long as you are in front of him. The first three legs have to run with a different attitude. They need to get the distance as much as possible to hand over to their teammates. But this is just a flat-out race.
Those three look superb over those hurdles. To say we've had steeplechasers in the other races not look as comfortable, but Bedard skipped over those. Arisi and Billiard struggled ever so slightly, but they made it over fine. The next barrier for them are these more significant hurdles with the grass on top. That's going to be the next thing, and I think we could see, if anyone comes over these hurdles well, we could see them kick on through the next few bends and just try and break away from the other teams.
It's very tight indeed, isn't it? I don't know if there's going to be any room for the Dutch to come through. Nielsen it is, ironically, the Olympic finalist, back in fourth place for the Netherlands on their final leg, but this trio is a classy trio as well, and I'm not sure that making up that gap and getting ahead of them is realistic. The lead changing every 100 metres or so in the second half of this final leg.
Here with Pietro Arisi, he's so quick, he's so strong, bronze medalist in Roma over 1500 metres. The confidence that brings when you know you've medalled at a senior championships. Arisi, he looks good, he looks smooth. Bedard, I can't tell, he's looking behind a bit. Is that just to ensure he gets his tactics perfect, that he's not caught unawares by Nielsen, or is that a sign of weakness? These three are so tightly matched. They've got around about 400 metres to go. They'll hop over some logs. Marta Perez, our only faller that we've seen so far through all the previous three races. These three men over absolutely fine, and that is it. It's a full-on sprint down the home straight here. It's Italy, it's France, it's Great Britain. Pietro Arisi looking right, looking left. You've got to feel the French national record, the Italian national record holder over 1500 has got another gear if he needs it. Billiard's arms are pumping. Bedard, his cadence is high. These three abreast, sprinting for the medals here, sprinting for the title in the mixed relay championships at the European cross-country championships, and they are so close. It's Arisi at the moment. Bedard trying to hold them off. Billiard right there. It's going to be gold for Italy. Pietro Arisi takes a gold medal for Italy. France, a great title defence in silver, and Britain matching their bronze from Brussels last year.
That surface really cutting up now. With every race it's getting thicker and thicker, the mud. As Fogg comes in, he'll hand over to Malanga. She on the final leg. Fogg having done a great job on leg 3. Now, what is that gap? There's Malanga, the athlete coached by Andy Hobdell. 1:59 800-metre runner this summer. 4:12 for 1,500 metres. Took European Junior gold back in 2017 at 800. Here is the battle for second place. And that gap is massive. Carl, I think that maybe it's big enough, because this is many, many seconds. I mean, Great Britain have come through with what time? What was their time at the changeover?
Yeah, it's not popping up on our screen, but beware as well that France have Alexis Millet on this final leg, who is a master. Time and again he's shown it in this mixed relay. He knows how to get this right. There he is in the centre of your shot, waiting. I will be stunned if he doesn't get them up to the silver medal position, as he tends to do. But look out too for the athletes closing from behind. As you said, it's mostly men on these final legs.
Bram Andreasen on the final leg for the Netherlands heads out against the French final leg runner. That is, as you said, Alexis Millet. Excuse me, I've been pronouncing it wrong. It's a 3:34 fella against a woman who's run 1:59 for Great Britain up ahead of her, and that's the target. But the target is so far, it's well over a minute. Look at that. It's a huge gap between Great Britain and the chasing teams. Is it surmountable?
I can't see this being closed in. I think the only fear for the Brits here was that if Kaisa Malanga went off too fast, sometimes when you have that lead, you can panic and really fire off that first 200 metres, and I think it would take some form of sabotage, really self-sabotage by Malanga to give up this lead, unless one of the male anchors in behind produces something heroic for the Netherlands or France. We've seen it before many times in the mixed relay. Will we see it again? But at the moment it looks like Britain and Kaisa Malanga look to be well on their way to gold. But again, like you said, probably a better 800 metre runner than a 1500 metre runner, but with that 4:12, that's more than good enough, that sort of strength, if she's in anything close to that form and just measures her effort correctly here over this 1500 metre leg. But there are the men, and they will have looked to their right and seen where the gold medal is now that they're in the battle, and no surprises, Alexis Millet is up to the silver medal position. Checks around him, Ruben Verheyen there, spotting him well. Can it be the battle for silver, or could they close in for gold?
Malanga then, working hard, cruising. Will she be getting information from the sidelines? Anybody from her team or team management yelling at her how big the gap is? It looks a big, big, comfortable gap to me at the moment. This is the battle for the silver medals at the moment. Netherlands against France, and at the moment, the Dutch final leg runner, Bram Andreasen, is doing a great job. He is a 3:36 fellow. He's going to be no pushover here. Twice Dutch champion at 1,500 metres. But Kaisa Malanga, the 23-year-old, who is coached by Andy Hobdell, has won 6 out of 6 park runs, those Saturday morning 5k jogs around parks all over Great Britain this year. That's no great surprise. Maybe it's given her a bit of decent preparation for this, though, as this is the battle for the silver medal between these two. And I wonder if that is perhaps compromising their focus upon chasing for gold.
Perhaps. I don't think you want to be the guinea pig or the pace setter, the rabbit here, and going after Brits for the gold and maybe giving up that silver medal. But you can see it is narrowing substantially now, that lead. And for the first time, Kaisa Malanga looks to be in deep distress, and it is a downhill run to the finish, and you have to watch your footing here. It's lumpy, it's uneven, there's dry patches, there's muddy patches. Kaisa Malanga has to focus like she's never focused before for this next minute to hang on for gold for Britain, because the master of this event, Millet, is on the charge.
Malanga looked really to be suffering there. I don't know if she got a yell or a shout from somebody saying, come on, dig deep. But maybe she got a glance, maybe she had to look over her shoulder at the fact that the Dutch and French athletes behind her, both male, are closing fast. She's got a little distance to go just yet, not far. Is she going to hang on? The Brits played their race card on leg 3 with Adam Fogg opening up a massive gap for their quartet. But Malanga now surely is safe, or is she? We can't see the gap at the moment. She's breathing hard, and there is the battle behind as they've got a target now. It makes such a difference if you've got a visible target to chase, and they are coming back at her, closing with every stride. Malanga now, with how far to go, it'd be great to get some indication on the court side as Malanga now is being chased down by the Dutchman, Bram Andreasen, and the Frenchman, Alexis Millet. Surely she can hang on, or can she? The crowd's roaring her on, a more difficult section here. The mud is deepest in this final section as Malanga, trying to hang on for Great Britain, takes the long line round the outside, and I'm not sure she's going to make it. Here they come. The Netherlands in second, France in third. The British played their ace card and has come unstuck in the final few metres. Malanga not with the strength here today. She's given absolutely everything, but you called it right, Carl, because Millet has produced the speed there for the French, and they will win the mixed relay here in Brussels. Brilliant running from Millet on the final leg there. Perfect judgment. Gold for France, silver for the Netherlands, and bronze for Great Britain. Malanga, there was nothing more she could do. She gave 101%. It created fascinating jeopardy over the final couple of minutes, but the French come out on top. France taking gold in the mixed relay, 2 men and 2 women, running a 1,500-metre lap each, with the Netherlands in silver and Great Britain in third.
Well, Jesus Gomez in second place is a 3:30. Oh, and he's gone down. He's a 3:33 1,500-metre runner, and he goes down. Doesn't matter how quick you are in track races. If you can't keep your feet on this surface, then you're going to be in trouble. That has given Aresi, no relation, by the way, to Franco Aresi, keep his balance. Here it is. Wow, bang. That's quite a heavy fall from Gomez. Mergenthaler.
Oh, yes, and Boo, he always looked like he was enjoying that. Skipped off the top of that little hill. We've seen him so regularly in the long course cross country kind of do well enough. I think that's what you're looking for in a competitor for this mixed relay. Now we saw Federica Del Buono on her own in her leg. She looked fine, she looked like she was pulling away, but ultimately really got reeled in by that fantastic leg from the Romanian. So Gaia Sabatini, she's a little bit faster on paper. She's improved significantly year on year, and can she hold it together? She was 9th at the European Championships outdoors last year, building on her brilliant 4:01 clocking. Gaia Sabatini medals in the age group stages and trying to get the host nation's very first gold medal. They've got Nadia Batacletti coming in a couple of races' time, defending her under-23 title. Yaman Crippa trying to have a go at dethroning Jakob Ingebrigtsen. But this Italian quartet in this mixed relay, oh, it would be wonderful if they picked up a gold medal here.
Great running from Britain's Callum Elson on the third leg there. He's pulled them up into 5th place, so they're in with a fighting chance of a medal now. But yes, Sabatini here, a 4:01 1,500-metre run. She's going to be very, very hard to unseat. European under-23 champion last year. 305,000 followers she's got on Instagram. Sabatini, and at the moment she's got a couple of dozen of followers in this race.
I think it's tough when you're out here to be shot at in a mixed relay event like this. How do you gauge your effort? Gaia Sabatini, she's got to be filled with nerves right now, and that gap is closing. Wasilia Tarrega of Spain, she's not got maybe the track credentials of those around her. She's just a 4:13 runner. And Ney Bourgeon of France vying for their 4th consecutive silver medal. But look at her, she's just staring down at the ground, intent, a quick glance behind. Have I managed to shake off the challenge from Spain? But these two, I can see them certainly getting back on terms with Sabatini up this hill.
Well, when I saw the size of this hill, Hannah, and then each lap being so short, I thought immediately a couple of days ago as I walked the course that this hill would be a huge factor. You know, you can dig into it on the last lap and get a gap on people, but you can be caught on the downhill because some people have finished so fast. Sabatini here has been reeled in by Bourgoin of France. There's no doubt about that, and you can see the Spanish final leg runner as well has had a fabulous leg, Tarrega. These three locked together, quite a big gap behind them. I can't see anybody else getting amongst the medals now, but who has got the legs? Who's going to judge it right? The right amount of effort on this upslope, saving enough for that fast downslope.
Taraga there, you can see her trying to carry her momentum. She knew she could get up these hills fast. Perhaps watch Maria Ferreira. Her technique was brilliant. And what a story this would be from the Spanish team. Jesus Gomez falling, really hard fall on that first lap. And the team have worked tremendously well to get themselves back in a shot of a medal. But wouldn't that be tremendous if Spain could repeat their gold medal from 2018? And what about this French team? 3 consecutive silver medals, but they've never won. Could this finally be a gold medal for France? And Bourgeon pushing hard into this flat section. They will be absolutely flooded with lactic at this stage. Strong running from the German team in 4th place, but you'd think the medals have got to go the way of these top 3. They've got to safely navigate this technical, steep downhill section.
Well, the French quartet took silver medals last year behind Great Britain. Belgium took the bronze medals. Can the French get a gold this time? Can they improve 1 place? Spain pushing on hard now. Really good running from Rosalia Taraga of Spain. She's really attacked this downslope. She's let rip. And it may be a winning gap. The Germans back in 4th place, but way back. I don't think they're going to be amongst the medals.
The effort going down the hill then from Rosalia Tarago. She's giving it absolutely everything. She's taking risks. She's putting her body on the line. Gaia Sabatini is lightning fast. If Gaia Sabatini can find some momentum and some good ground, she's got around about 40 or 50 metres of technical ground left to navigate. But here goes Gaia Sabatini. She is going to try and kick down Taraga of Spain. Gaia Sabatini is on the charge. This home straight has caused some drama already for Nick Griggs and Will Barnicott. What will happen in this mixed relay? Gaia Sabatini trying to overhaul Spain. Spain won this title back in 2018. Are they going to repeat? No, it is going to be her first gold medal for the host nation. Gaia Sabatini timing her effort perfectly to the line. Rosalia Taraga gave it absolutely everything. I think that Spanish team should be incredibly proud of coming back from the fall of Jesus Gomez in the first leg, but Gaia Sabatini held her nerve. She was so uncomfortable up the hill, so uncomfortable down the hill, and just left a little bit in her legs for that final 100 metres.
Rosalia Taraga, she did everything she could. She thought she'd got it right, the tactics, kicking hard down the hill. But this last 130, 140 metres or so on the flat has proven to be decisive in 2 of the 3 races we've seen so far, isn't it? You've got to remember that.
Yeah.
The home straight, I mean, I don't know why we're surprised. Look at track racing. It's all decided in the home straight, and that's only 100 metres.
And with adrenaline, no doubt, coursing through his veins. Off goes Great Britain with a 4-second advantage, 5 seconds then back to Ireland. Andrew Coschran's going to join the Belgian in second in that race for silver, but who knows what could happen. We've seen how this changes so often in that 3rd leg with Britain getting to the front. Can Andrew Coschran get the Irish back to the top of the podium?
Ben West was a strong, dominant victor of that British short trial, so he has the calibre to run over this sort of terrain. This is not dissimilar to the British trial in Liverpool, but has he got the nerve? Can he keep himself calm enough and pace himself? Shot for Clara Butner, she looked great out there in the lead, but she got caught in those closing stages, and Alex Bell just totally flipped this race on the head, taking the British team from 6th to 1st and giving them that lead. Can Ben West hold on and defend the charge that's coming behind him? You can see Andrew Coschran then already into 2nd place, giving chase.
Yeah. Well, Alex Bell took 10 seconds out of the field in that leg. 4:48 for her split. The next quickest being 4:58 by Belgium.
If there are any drinks, if there's a victorious British celebration tonight, if they get the gold here, it'll certainly be Alex Bell who'll be getting a free one from her teammates, because that was a heroic 3rd leg from the British Olympian. But Benjamin West, can he hold this together? It looks like he's gone out hard, and I think that's a tactic, a specific tactic to try and demoralise his rivals. When you've got the 4 or 5 second advantage he has, if you do go out hard with tiring athletes in behind, you can almost give them a visual idea that they're further ahead in front of you than they look, and he looks to have extended that advantage over the first 600 metres. But the big question is, what's he got left for this last kilometre?
I think you're right, Cathal, and they won't see him. They can't see him now. There's enough turns in this course, and that's what you want to do to your competitors. You want to be out of sight. How disheartening is that? You can't even see the person ahead of you. But Andrew Coschran, as have all the Irish athletes so far this morning and this afternoon, he will give it absolutely everything. But it is now a three-way race for the silver and the bronze medal.
Yeah, that is Belgium's it's France's Alexis Millier, and it is Belgium's Steen Batten in the battle for silver, along with Andrew Coscoran. He's the best of them on paper over 1,500 metres, but this is a very different environment to the track and to the Olympic Games they'd be used to, and running around Europe in good conditions in midsummer. This is cold, this is wet, this is muddy. Here at Fingal, Dublin, Andrew Coscoran rounds that bend in the silver medal position. Spain there still hanging on back in 5th. Victor Ruiz is a fine athlete, but he'll have to find something superhuman to get them up into the medals. But who knows, some of these athletes could fall apart on this long uphill run towards the finish.
Alexis Millet, he's got past form in this event. He's picked up medals for France before. He knows what he's doing. Can he convert? He's got a silver from 2018, a bronze in 2019. I'm sure he'd love another silver. But Luke McCann, this might be a senior Great Britain debut, and at the moment holding on to that gold medal position in this mixed relay. But watch out, Spain are coming as well.
Spain are definitely coming, and as we talked, they're always big kickers, but Andrew Coscoran is up in that 2nd place, but the Belgian still looks comfortable. Batten, as indeed does Millet of France. Victor Ruiz has a big kick. Look out for him in this home straight. If he gets a sniff of that silver or bronze medal, he will grab it with both hands. But it looks like the gold yet again is heading to Great Britain and Northern Ireland, because Benjamin West is around this final turn. He'll have about 150 metres to run. He proved his form over cross country with that run recently in Liverpool, and he has put on an absolute clinic here. He got it with a 4-second advantage. He has grown that substantially over the last 1,200 metres or so. This is going to be gold for Great Britain and Northern Ireland. The battle in terms of competitiveness is about the silver. It's between France, Ireland and Belgium, but there's no doubt about the winner. A brilliant performance on the 3rd leg by Alex Bell. Hands over to Benjamin West. Is going to be gold for Britain. It's so close for 2nd. Andrew Coscoran is fighting with Millet and Batten for the silver. That's going to be very close. But gold here once again, as it was 2 years ago in Lisbon. It goes to Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and Benjamin West is best in Dublin.
So the French will hand over to Joanna Gaya-Carles.
And that's Jessica Judd waiting for Great Britain.
Just missed it there, but Ruiz handed over to Solange Pereira. So it's Pereira against Gaya-Carles. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I know Pereira has got some very good international credentials and has been running well. I think the Spaniards come into this last lap as the favourites. However, I've been proven wrong plenty of times in the past, but that's who my money would be on, with just about a kilometre to go in this 2nd mixed relay here at the SPAR European Cross Country Championships. Jessica Judd, well, former silver medalist at World Under-20 level on the track, over 800 metres. Got the bronze in the Under-23 race last year. A lot of distance to make up, though, for Judd. Not insurmountable for an athlete of her quality, but it's still quite a gap between the leading pair and Judd. Well, Gaya-Carles at the moment, well, looking pretty comfortable. Pereira still on her shoulder. Pereira also ran in the Spanish team 12 months ago and got the bronze medal. And now Pereira just edges around her. Well, Guerra, should say Pereira, now taking the lead from Gaya-Carles.
And I'm sorry to say it, but that fall of Jamie Williamson has made a bit of a difference here for Britain.
Yes.
She's not been able to keep in touch.
Jessica Judd's doing her best to try and reduce the deficit, as we now see Pereira just starting to edge away. 10-metre gap now between the Spaniard and her French rival, as the pair daintily work their way around one of the final corners of this race, and indeed the final corners of the 2018 SPAR European Cross Country Championships here in Tilburg. And this looks as though it's now going to be a decisive surge. Race isn't over yet, that's obvious, but Pereira now starting to, well, she stumbled there, but managed to keep going, recovered very quickly, glancing over her shoulder.
And Spain have won 2 silvers and a bronze today, no gold.
It could well be. This is a run to gold for the golden girl of Spanish athletics, Solange Pereira. Currently Spain's number 1 1500-metre runner. And she's kept a little bit in reserve. Gaia Carles is digging deep, but Pereira has got just that little bit left as they're coming into the final 100 metres. Gaia Carles is desperately digging deep, and Pereira starting to look just a little bit tired, but it's going to be gold for Spain, the first gold of the day. But Solange Pereira brings Spain home. Spain take the 7th race of these championships. Spain win, France silver. Let's just wait for confirmation. Well, it's Britain. Well, Britain drifted back. Belarus came through super strongly there through Volha Nemanov. A rare medal for Belarus, but it's gold for Spain. Last year's 3rd place team make it gold today here in Tilburg. Gaia Carles, well, ran very, very well on that last leg, but just didn't quite have enough to be able to resist the final surge of Solange Pereira. The final changeover in this, the mixed relay, the final event here at the 2017 SPAR European Cross Country Championships. Well, Tom Marshall, 20 metres or so advantage over Jakob Halusa. Halusa, well, his credentials speak for himself, a very fine runner indeed. On Halusa's shoulder at this stage, Jesus Gomez from Spain. It's looking very clearly, as it's been from roughly halfway through the first half of the first leg. These are the 3 teams. Well, Marshall's really trying to make a statement here, really trying to put space between him and Halusa. Question now is, can he hang on? Has he judged this race right?
Well, the gap was about 4 seconds, exactly 4 seconds, and if you look at the difference in personal bests between Marshall and Halusa, it's about the same.
Well, Daniel Lundgren is the final runner for Sweden. Difficult to see Lundgren making up that big 22-second gap on Spain and the Czech Republic and getting into the medals. Getting into the closing stages now of this, the inaugural mixed relay. Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you have, watching the European Athletics live stream. Jesus Gomez for Spain in the silver medal position. Jakob Halusa, Czech Republic, in bronze at the moment. Well, only a couple of 100 metres to go. I think this gap is going to be too big for Spain or the Czech Republic to make up. Tom Marshall has gauged his tactics to perfection, I think. Well, the Spaniard Gomez is towing Halusa, and they are closing the gap, but I think it's going to be too little too late. Marshall gritting his teeth now. Just 100 or so metres away from the finish line, probably about 150 metres. I'm just looking across the course now. Marshall looking behind him. It's a big gap for Gomez and Halusa to make up. Nevertheless, the Czech Republic could be on their way to their first ever medal at the SPAR European Cross Country Championships. And that gap is closing, although Halusa
struggled over the sand there. Marshall, though, Marshall can afford to just relax over the final metres. Puts his hands in the air, and Great Britain take the last gold medal of this, the 2017 European Cross Country Championships.
Hi, I'm Nadia Batogritti. Sign up now to the European Athletics YouTube channel.